Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Ben Simpson posting this: retail always buys the top and panic sells the bottom. Guys, every single cycle, it is the same story. The red dots mean retail are piling in, which means euphoria, and the gray dots equal silence, disbelief, and accumulation. So generally, what we see in a bull run, this is the Bitcoin chart, what we see in a bull run is retail FOMOing in at the worst possible moment. As you guys can see, he's denoted a few times here where retail has piled into Bitcoin, as denoted by the red dots here. That is too much retail or too many retail. The pink dots represent many retail, and the green dots represent few retail, whereas the gray dots represent neutral. So guys, you can see at peaks, retail generally does FOMO in. When we're seeing gray on the chart, that's when we're seeing very, very few retail FOMO in. And at this peak here, we're not seeing that much retail FOMOing in. And that fact is kind of screwing with us right now, because generally what we see during the tops of bull runs is retail FOMOing in and that euphoric sentiment really kind of permeating the market. Today, we have fear and greed at 24, though. So that is not a sign of a euphoric market. Not at all. We've got the market cap. It is up by a little bit within the last 24 hours. A few cryptocurrencies have done well, but by and large, we're not seeing that same kind of euphoric retail sentiment that we've seen in the past. And this is why I think a lot of people are very confused as to, whether they should sell some of their position, whether they should accumulate more. This is the XRP chart. I did see another tweet. I don't have it up today. Just a trend line. As you guys can see, starting in and around here, August, coming down, you guys can see it's hitting pretty much all those lows. And we did recently just bounce off this low yesterday for XRP. Currently, we are now trading in and around $2.29. We're forming lower lows on this chart. However, the structure is still maintaining. We are still staying above support. So there are some positive things here on the XRP chart. This is actually, though, the worst crypto has been since I got in 2019. This coming from Alex Becker. Two things happen here. It could either be over and it is this bad, or alts are oversold and returns will be astronomical. So two obviously competing schools of thought here. If A hits, we are going to lose another 50 to 60% in all tops. That would mean our portfolios would be down even more. If B hits, we will get returns to all-time high, giving us 10 to 20x gains. Now, here's the important part. If you are a smart cookie, you see the extreme lopsided risk to reward here, or at least that it would be goofy to sell here. I'm truly arms up. WTF, I don't know where we go from here. A coin flip. Again, this is coming from Alex Becker. I have my own personal opinions on this that you can find over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. He goes on to say, if red hits, we lose 50 to 60%. If black hits, we 10 to 20x our money. And he's saying it is a coin toss. He's also mentioning this. I still think it's insane to picture a reality where Ethereum doesn't crush its all-time high in the next year. So that's the other thing, right? Let me just bring up the Bitcoin chart here for you guys. I'm sure you've also been toiling with this thought here. We've got the Bitcoin chart also making lower lows here on the daily time frame. This is not something we like to see. We are, though, rebounding from those lows down and around there. And hopefully we do see that turn around. Hopefully we do see a meaningful push to the upside. When we take a look at Ethereum, Ethereum's off these highs too. I've scribbled on this chart in the past. You guys can see we did hit that high. We did rebound off of it. It just seems like the market is seriously just retesting these former levels of resistance. But, some traders are saying this is the end, or at least there's a good chance that it is the end. John Gillen here posting this. If you're in crypto, you need to pay careful attention to Bob Lucas. Now, here's another interesting opinion here. Okay, for crypto, this is basically a retest of the 10-10 panic. So 10-10, October the 10th. But over a more deliberate period. Sentiment is beyond wiped clean. So forget about sentiment for a second. Forget about that euphoric feeling. We've hit the 50 WMA, and the weekly cycle should start fresh. Any good upside price separation from the lows should put a line in the bull-bear market narrative at the recent lows. Bitcoin would have no business revisiting it later this month or in December. Okay, so what he's saying here, we've hit the 50 WMA, and the weekly cycle should start fresh. He's saying there should be a line in the sand now. This would be the lowest we go before that next move to the upside. And he's made a note here. I guess I should also point out that this is the 1 week chart. 30 bars, so 30 weeks. We see that reaccumulation, 30 weeks, reaccumulation. Now, guys, we should see that move to the upside. And November, December should be the time we see it. So an interesting observation here. over a 50% probability the US government will reopen after November the 15th. So the macroeconomic factors too, looking at this, over a 65% probability of another 25 basis point rate cut in December. Funding rates reset back to 1%. Longs have been liquidated and then some. Spot buyers are starting to emerge. 22 out of the past 30 days have been in fear. Guys, we're setting ourselves up for this next big push, this next big blow off top, and these are just some macroeconomic factors pointing to that. This coming from James Van Stratton. We have strong quarterly earnings, gold blow off top, majority calling for 4-year cycle, BTC back over the 360-day DMA/EMA, new potential accumulation for MicroStrategy and STRC. Most of the whales and LTH selling is behind us. This is a textbook 20% correction. I cannot stress that enough. We've seen these types of corrections in the past. 20% is not crazy. And we are currently down around 20. Well, the deepest of the cut was 21.7. And now we're only down about 18.2%. So now, because institutions are coming into crypto, could we be seeing a different pattern moving forward? Well, guys, again, for more information on my thoughts regarding this bull run, well, first I'm going to be having a live Q&A session, or I'm planning to, this Saturday, November the 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it's only for the Patreon subscribers. You got to subscribe. It is only $5 a month, cheaper than some people pay for a cup of coffee every single day. So check it out, guys. You can pick my brain. You can DM me. I do respond to all of my Patreon subscribers. So patreon.com/workingmoney channel. I also wanted to bring this up, though. This coming from Crypto's Russ. The bottom is in. The bounce is incoming. Matt Hoogan also has clear opinions on where the market is going next.
Crypto retail is in max desperation. We've seen leverage blowouts. We've seen issues with vaults. We've seen issues with yield protocols. And the market for sort of crypto native retail is just more depressed than I've ever seen it. I think that market is close to a bottom. It's hard to find a crypto native investor who still has much enthusiasm for the market. I think the market is shifting into an institutionally driven market. And interestingly, that market is still bullish. When I go out and speak to institutions or financial advisors, they're still excited to allocate to an asset class that, if you pan back and look over the course of a year, is still delivering very strong returns. So my view of the market is we have to get through this retail flush out. We have to hit bottom from a sentiment perspective. I think we're very close to that. And then I'm optimistic that we rally into the end of the year and into 2026 as the institutional investors who are more maybe even keeled about what's going on at a fundamental level in crypto start to drive the market forward. So I'm optimistic, but we do have to finish this washout of retail sentiment. And again, I think we're closer to the end of that.
He's saying this is a washout of retail sentiment, guys. Maybe this is why fear and greed is sitting at 24. Then we will see another big push to the upside. So investors like Matt Hoogan, again, the CIO of Bitwise, saying there is still going to be another push to the upside. Patrick Witt made an appearance at Swell, and he speaks on behalf of the Trump administration when it comes to crypto in America. This is all macro picture stuff that we also have to consider.
Well, as a former football player, I will say there's always room for improvement. So, maybe I'll give us a B+ or an A-, but I will say, this administration, it starts at the top. President Trump set the clear vision. He reiterated that the other night on 60 Minutes. We want to make the United States the dominant player in the crypto space, right? We've been the dominant player in... Yeah. And so he sets the direction, and if he's the owner of the team, let's say, that my boss David Sachs is the general manager or the head coach, and I'm the quarterback on the field, trying to execute. We've done an incredible job of staffing this administration from Treasury, SEC, CFTC, our office, with folks who are pro-crypto, pro-innovation, and want to do everything that we can to, achieve that efficient frontier of regulation, right? The basic rules of the road that allow markets to flourish but not be overly burdensome, and really put an end to the Gensler war on crypto. I'd say the Gensler-Warren era on crypto. So, Gensler's gone, but we still have to deal with Senator. Still dealing with a number of folks that have that legacy mindset, but I would say the administration is pushing every day to move the ball forward and make sure that we're delivering wins, and again, allowing this industry to just do what it does.
I'm pretty confident in the Trump administration. Obviously, more Democrats have to be on board, but the Gensler era is done. Ripple keeps moving along too. 2025, without a doubt, has been an incredible year for Ripple. This coming from Brad Garlinghouse, and a record year for crypto as a whole. Although we have a couple of months left, this announcement feels like the cherry on top of the mountain of good news. Today, we announced a $500 million investment in Ripple from Fortress Investment Group, Citadel Securities, Pantera Group, and Galaxy HQ, Brevin Howard, and Marshall Weiss. And guys, that brings Ripple to a $40 billion valuation. This investment isn't just validation of Ripple's growth strategy and business built on the foundation of XRP. So Brad Garlinghouse also centering out XRP in this post, but also a clear bet on what the future of crypto will look like. And I'm very proud of what we've built and all that has come of this. So you remember that interview from about a month ago of Dan Moorhead from Pantera Capital? Today we got the big news that Citadel invested the $500 million. Here's the interview clip if you don't remember.
So we decided kind of end of last year, beginning of this year, that there's a moment in time we thought Ripple was in an advantageous position. We were going to play offense with acquisitions. We've announced, I think, 3 acquisitions this year, the biggest of which was the largest non-bank prime broker called Hidden Road. Now, the Hidden Road does crypto and non-crypto activity, but if you want, I'm going to use generically, if you want the Citadels of the world to lean in and participate, you need counterparties and prime brokers that actually can service Citadel's needs. If you don't have those, then the Citadels of the world can't lean in at the scale. And Hidden Road was doing quite well, but their balance sheet, relatively speaking, was small to service some of the biggest, the Jane Streets, some of the biggest players out there. Ripple has a big balance sheet, and since announcing that acquisition in, I think, May, we basically 3x their revenue run rate, which they were already doing quite well and profitable. And we're serving some of the larger customers, serving customers that already were more broadly, so that's going really well. We bought Rail, which is one of the largest stablecoin payments companies, kind of based out of Toronto. That was a deal we just announced in August, and we're working on a couple more right now.
Citadel was mentioned in that interview from about a month ago. So we're seeing hints here. This is just another tweet from XRP Crypto Wolf that Ripple is now worth $40 billion, guys. When I saw that number, I was like, whoa, where did it all come from? It's the acquisitions. I remember when Ripple was only worth $9 billion. It seems like just a couple of years ago. So there's the Citadel thing. Matthew LANY here also saying this is a speculative research post, but found some interesting connections with Citadel Securities and their institutional EDX trading platform. I have no inside connections and do not know if the blockchains mentioned are being used in any testing or technical analysis transactions or applications. So here's some information. This was a tweet thread from about a year ago. Citadel Securities labels itself as a technology company after listening to the multiple podcasts. Its clear owner and hedge fund expert Kenneth Griffin wanted to establish a state-of-the-art technology trading platform. So that is how Citadel has morphed over the years. EDX is the next level. Supported by Citadel Fidelity and Schwab, it's becoming a major institutional market for cryptocurrencies. EDX markets are using adaptive technology. Adaptive is low latency and cloud computing. Adaptive has strategic partnerships with Software AG, while operations potentially use IOTA. So at this time, he was saying IOTA could be the technology of choice. Well, we know now, fast forward 1 year, and they have now actively invested in Ripple, XRP being central to Ripple's protocols. One application on EDX is Eventuous Validus cyber surveillance. This could be interesting. So he goes on here into some more detail. Another application is compliance. So he talks about compliance here. TMR Labs is using Hedera and has integrated with multiple blockchains. So some interesting observations here from Matthew LANY, not necessarily talking about Ripple or XRP in any way, but Citadel setting themselves up. Now they've invested in Ripple, or partially invested in Ripple along with those other companies. And then, guys, this was the other piece of big news breaking from Swell yesterday. Mastercard and WebBank will be using the XRP ledger. So boom goes the dynamite. The collaboration will leverage Ripple's stablecoin, the RLUSD, on the XRP ledger to enhance how fiat-based payments are going to be processed with the Gemini XRP card. So another piece of groundbreaking news here. Ripple, a financial technology company that offers crypto solutions, has now announced that they are collaborating with Mastercard, WebBank, and Gemini. Together, they will explore the use of the RLUSD. As I mentioned before, running on the XRP ledger, the initiative is designed to enable RLUSD operating on the XRPL to facilitate blockchain-based settlement processes between Mastercard and WebBank, and that's all going to be issued on the Gemini card. They're looking to use global payment networks to bring regulated open-loop stablecoin payments into the financial mainstream, guided by our commitment to customer choice and the principled approach to stablecoins, one that emphasizes strong customer protections, a level playing field, and full regulatory compliance. We're enabling settlement today while exploring how stablecoins can support future use cases. So another step in the right direction. These are all basically just quotes from people over there who were interviewed at Swell. Financial institutions around the world are increasingly recognizing the value of blockchain and stablecoins in modernizing how money moves. This from Monica Long. This partnership is a meaningful step towards showcasing how regulated digital assets like the RLUSD can enhance settlement, paving the way for other card programs to adopt stablecoins for faster compliant payments. The XRPL will serve as the backbone for these and other institutional use cases that are transforming how financial services operate. Boom goes the dynamite, guys. This is big. These are some connections, too, that Anders is noticing. Seeing Ripple and MasterCard together is nothing new. For example, MasterCard appeared at Swell twice as keynote speakers in 2022 and just recently now in 2025. Ripple and MasterCard have also appeared together on BIS Cross-Border Payment Interoperability and Extension PI Task Force. In 2023, Ripple became part of MasterCard's CBDC partner program, so they've been cozy for a while. This partnership with MasterCard could be huge for RLUSD and the XRP ledger, since MasterCard is a huge player in global finance, transacting $9.7 trillion in 2024 alone. It's the second largest card network in the world behind Visa. A lot of these things seem to be happening in the background for Ripple and the XRP ledger. And this too from Chad Steingraber: if adopted at scale, the model could replace or supplement existing payment rails like ACH and SWIFT. So maybe this is the goal, right? To get so big that they could in fact replace ACH and SWIFT, again, with regards to this brand new partnership. And so that is the quote, if adopted at scale. At scale is what we're looking for here. I don't know, is this from the actual MasterCard press release or from Ripple's press? Doesn't seem like it's from Ripple's press release, but it could be from the MasterCard press release. I don't know yet what they're intending, but guys, maybe we are witnessing where they're going to go. Onward and upward, said Bearableguy at the beginning of the year. This was a post from January 2025. MasterCard echoing that same sentiment. Another Bearableguy connection, adding that on top to yesterday's evergreen Bearableguy connection. If you didn't catch yesterday's video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Guys, I'm getting excited. More partnerships are mounting, and I guess, well, obviously, the perfect opportunity to see how XRP utility is going to be transformative. The price of XRP today is not nearly where it should be, totally undervalued in my opinion, and for more opinions on where I think this speculative market is going to go, because currently we're trading in spec, and this is a tough one to navigate. Follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Going to be holding the live Q&A again, guys, this Saturday, November the 8th. If you guys feel like helping to support the channel in a different way, I do also have the Working Money Channel merch store. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.